Dave Brown here at ringside, ready to go with another day of USWA CWA Wrestling. Jerry Lawler, the King,
I'm
joining
back,
us
Dave.
here.
You know what?
I enjoyed last week. You weren't here. You were outside.
I was outside. I was waiting for a big call. And speaking of calls, I have my phone standing by. I have some more very important phone calls that I'm expecting during the show. As a matter of fact, one of your favorites and one of my favorites is going to call here a little bit today. A little bit. Rodney Dangerfield is going to be calling me on the phone. We're close pals. You realize that?
Rodney's going to call you.
Rodney is going to call me.
All right.
Why do you shake your head, Dave, like this?
I don't believe it.
What do you mean you don't believe it?
Well, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see if Rodney Dangerfield calls him
wait
today.
and see. I'll tell you what. You think he'd ever call you? Huh?
Well, I don't know him.
Well,
no.
I can tell you right now, no, he will never call you, Dave, so don't worry about it.
Let's see if he calls you. We also got Bill Dundee against Dirty White Boy, which should be a fine match here today. Rooster Cogburn will be along. Cobra will be here. The Stud Stable.
Wait a minute, Dave. Oh. When you see the whole idea of this little segment on the show is, it's called like a tease. It's your job out here is to try to make the people stay tuned.
I know what my job is.
You realize that?
Exactly
You're supposed to you're supposed to try to make the show sound like it's going to be exciting. And here you are telling them that you're going to have Bill Dundee on here. You're telling them you're going to have Cobra on here. And what do you want? The sound of television is turning off around the city of Memphis is deafening right now when you.
I don't think so.
You just tell them that I'm going to be out here for the next 90 minutes, and everybody will stay tuned.
Wait a minute. Now I hear television sets clicking off all over town. Chris Champion will be here a little bit later, too. Enough of this. We'll be back. Take a break.
Hey,
we'll be back here in just... Time, Brian Lee. Here they come right here. They have the USWA World Tag Team titles around Brian's waist and slung across the shoulder of Robert Fuller. What is this Star Search 90 thing you got going here now?
Well, what's happened, and as you know, I'm not a guy that's going to keep any secrets from anybody. If there's any truth to be told, I'm going to tell it and get it out, air it out for everybody to know. That I've had more people ask me from this crowd and all over the state of Tennessee, Texas, and everywhere, where's Sylvia?
I've had a lot of people ask
her. She's been on some cards. And I'm going to tell everybody right now, who cares? It's not an easy moment in my life to have to explain this to you, but Sylvia's not with me anymore, that she left me. She's a barmaid in Columbus, Georgia, at a Shaker's Lounge down there, and she don't give a flip about Stud Stable or nothing else at this point. And I want to tell you real clear, all you people out here with a big mouth, I got a broken heart over this. I don't feel too darn good about this. And any one of y'all have the same problem, you know what I'm talking about. Now, I came out here today and put that belt down right there. I brought this guitar right here because in the tradition of Elvis, Billy Joe Travis, and some of the better singers, I'm not going to sing these people out here nothing, but I'm going to sing a little song for my Georgia Peach down there, and I want her to listen to it real close.
Hey, come on, look, don't let her go, man. Just let her go.
This is for you, Sylvia.
Oh, Robert.
This is for you right here, honey. Get the mic in here. I know that someday you'll want me to want you. When I'm in love with that one somebody new. And although you don't want me now, I know I'll be somehow. And then I won't be wanting you.
Bill Dundee, very sympathetic over there.
Kramer, you get Bill Dundee down here. You get out of here, you're going to get out there and do Let me right now. Let me get it cleared up just what we got in mind. Coming down here this morning, Brian talked to me, and Brian said, I'm tired of seeing you laying your head down and whining over this woman. I want to do something about it. Tell him what we're going to do, Brian.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to have a star search. Rob. Yeah, I've been trying to tell him.
Hey, he didn't just forget about her.
You can do a lot better than her,
Robert.
I've been telling you that for months. Better than that, she's even going to take the place as a valet. What we're going to do is we're going to have a star search. All the women write in. Tell them the address, Dave. Tell them. We're going to let the women write in.
You're going to replace Sylvia with somebody. Wait a minute. You're going to replace Sylvia with somebody that's watching this show today?
Exactly. Now, we don't want all you fat hogs writing in and all you obese women. We got to have a good-looking woman.
What we need, Dave, we need a woman that don't mind being the first one on the bus and ready to ride. Because you got to get up in the morning in Las Vegas, be in Chicago at noon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon down in New Orleans, and you got to be ready to go. We need somebody to swing that Kenzo stick like Babe Ruth, baby, and somebody with long legs, pretty long hair, and somebody that's going to be my lady and stay that way. And I'm going to guarantee you one thing. Mr. Dundee, come out over here, and you're going to meddle in my private moment. I'm going to guarantee you something, Dundee. I'm going to eat your lunch before this program's over.
Are you serious about this?
Exactly right.
I'll give you that. I can't imagine anybody would be interested, but if they are, just send it to the...
Surprised how many women drop to their knees.
Just send it to, let's call it Sylvia Search. Care TV 5, 1960 Union Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee, 38104. I bet you can hold all the entries you get. You may probably count them on one hand.
Well, you know why? Look at it.
Whoa, Rooster Cogburn.
You know who that is?
Against Don Kelly. Yeah, I know who it is.
That's that Rooster Cogburn, the grease monkey from up there in Bradford, Tennessee. And look at him, Dave. He's like an idiot up there.
Oh, look at him, yeah. He pops Don Kelly. Rooster Cogburn.
This guy better go back home. Look at this. He'll never get that foot tub of lard up. Hey, Rooster, you better go back to the gas station, boy.
Rooster Cogburn, boy, going after him with a big forearm.
Yeah, he went after him with a big suplex and couldn't lift that fat tub of lard, could he?
Snaps him back down to the mat. Rooster Cogburn looking good here in spite of what Lawler
said. Hey, he looks like the grease monkey that he is. He works at a service station up in Bradford, Tennessee, pumping gas
Reverse
and changing
neck
oil.
breaker. He's got a 2 and a 3 count. Rooster Cogburn gets a win. Less than a minute. Less than a minute. Hey, we'll have more to say about Rooster in regards to Jerry Lawler a little bit later on, as a matter of fact, here today. Rooster gets a victory. 51 seconds the time on it. Good opening match for you here
suplex,
today.
Wasn't it, Dave?
Let's go to the Sportatorium in Dallas, Texas right now. We'll join Mark Lowrance.
What a dump.
A match involving Jeff Jarrett.
What a pump.
All right, Jeff Jarrett moving down the aisle, saying hello to the fans and ready for action here in the ring and ready to talk about excitement coming up. Jeff, a lot of great stuff going on, but what I'm concerned about is your well-being. Things seem to get wilder.
They sure do. It gets wilder and wilder every single week. But Billy Joe Travis, this week is my week. You know, I've been in a couple of different kind of matches with you, and it seems like you always come out on the upper hand. If you use a trash can or a chain or your guitar. Well, that's what I'm here to talk about today, is your guitar. Because this week, the match is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be evened up. Because, yeah, I'm going to walk down one aisle, and you're going to walk down the other, and we're going to meet in that ring. And there's going to be one guitar up on a 15-foot pole. That's right. The guitar is going to be stuck on top of that pole. And one of us is going to get it to smack it right over the top of the other head. And, Billy, I can promise you one thing. I'm going to bust your head open if it's the last thing I do, because I'm taking that guitar and smashing it over your head.
Well, after what we've been seeing, I think we can all appreciate what has just been said as we go to the ring now and get ready for action in the squared circle.
Oh, I tell you what, who does Jeff Jarrett think he is? He comes out, you know, the guitar's going to be above the ring, yes. Even if he got it down, can he play a tune on a guitar? No. Can he sing? No. Billy Joe Travis is the greatest entertainer and wrestler, bar none, in the USWA. So I don't know what Jeff Jarrett thinks he's doing by having a guitar up above the ring, but Billy Joe's going to take care of him, Mark.
The bell rings and we're underway. Jimmy James, the opponent for Jeff Jarrett. And you're enjoying USWA wrestling excitement at its finest. The referee stands as Jarrett will pull him down with the arm drag. And Jimmy James complains about tights.
Oh, yeah, I think he did pull his tights. You know, they were collar and elbow there, locked up. all of a sudden, Jeff just pulled him over with an arm drag. I think he had the tights, Mark. I think the kid's got a legitimate gripe.
The referee stance into the arm bar, twisted over the head, into the ropes, the rebound, over the hip.
What a hip toss. Oh, look at that. Jeff must have had his tights again.
I didn't see any tight pulling.
Of course you didn't see any tight pulling. You're so biased it makes me sick.
The referee stance again. A struggle between these two. Jarrett is taken down with a slam, jumps to an elbow. Jarrett out of the way.
Oh, yeah, now he's going to turn it around. Look at that body slam. Woo! Jeff's setting him up, Mark. Look, see the way he's waiting? Oh, yeah. That's how he got him up there so high. He pulled his tights again, Mark. Why does Jeff have to cheat? I'd like to know that. Why does he have to cheat? He's a good wrestler. He knows how to wrestle, stay in the rules.
Well, if you'll remember, my resolution in 1990 is not to let you upset me.
Why should I upset you? I'm just out here calling the match. Look at this. He whips Jeff off. What's he going to do to him? Oh, shoulder block. James goes down. Yeah, there it is. There's a hip. Oh, no! Jeff reversed it and hip tossed him. I think he had his tights again.
James back in the rope, and Jarrett will wait patiently as referee Falk does the counting. And Jeff moves in. Here we go again.
A collar and elbow in the middle of the ring. Look at that. Now that's what he should have done all along. He raked Jeff's eyes. It's hard to see a man to hit him when your eyes are blind. Look at him. He's going to work, Mark. He's beating on Jeff. I like this.
Into the ropes. He ducks, comes back, ducks again. Boom!
There's an illegal fist from Jarrett. There's another one. I'll tell you what, that kid knows how to throw a punch, Mark. He shoots James into the ropes and comes off. What an elbow.
The thing that Terrence missed earlier is the fact that neither of the individuals will be wanting to play a tune on any guitar. It's going to be probably guitar smashing time when it is pulled off the pole.
Mark, Jeff's setting him up. I know what's coming. Look at that drop kick.
Count of 1, 2, 3, and Jeff Jarrett is the winner.
I'll say this for him. He's got one of the prettiest drop kicks in the business.
Going to stop by on the way for a few words about that match, perhaps, and some other matches, too. Here he comes right here out of Australia, superstar Bill Dundee. Bill. Yeah, watch him.
Hey, Fuller, let me tell you something. What this guy here says is not really true. There's a lot of pretty women out there. The only difference is they're not going to write to you and not goof Brian Lee, and that's the name of that tune. But I'm going to tell you something what's going to happen Monday night. Dirty Dutch Mantell couldn't be here today, but he's going to be here Monday night. And it's going to be the superstar and the Dutchman, and they're going to have new world champions come Monday night, brother. Because you and Brian Lee, oh, you're great wrestlers, great athletes, or you wouldn't have what you got around your waist. And that's the world belt, brother. But come Monday night, Bill Superstar Dundee and Dutch Mantell is going to be the world's champions, and that's the name of that tune. And I hope Rooster beats you tonight in Brisbane.
Hey, Dundee.
Bill, you're on the way to the ring.
You know what you've done? You're going to come out here and you're going to keep running that mouth, and you're going to make Fuller and them hot. They're going to hurt you, boy. You better not be talking about a man that's upset.
Bill on the way to the ring right now. Dirty White Boy and Dirty White Girl in his corner. We got a one fall, 10 minutes.
No lady problems right here.
No lady problems, says Dirty White Boy.
There you go.
Yeah. More to say about that later on, too. Bill Dundee against the Dirty White Boy here today, live on USWA CWA Wrestling.
You know, this situation with Robert Fuller and Sylvia is a very serious thing, and Dundee's trying to make fun of it. You don't make fun of a situation of a man and his lady, because I understand that it was really a bad deal.
Wait, lady, well, I might argue
right.
with that term.
Listen, Sylvia, at first she started not going to these towns, right? You know, and Robert was having to go to these cities and wrestle without her. Mm-hmm. And I understand that he came home one day, a little bit early, and he caught Sylvia getting it on with the paper boy.
Oh, come on. I don't know
I'm telling you, he was hot. He said, hey, what are you doing there with a paper boy for when it's a milkman we owe? I get it. I'm only kidding. That's not the truth. I'm telling you, it's a serious situation. Dundee's making fun of it. He's going to make Fuller and them hot. And they're going to hurt this punk.
I'll tell you what, Dundee's making fun of it because Sylvia, most people are not going to miss Sylvia around ringside.
Well, Robert Fuller
kendo
misses
stick.
her.
There's Dirty White Girl. Dirty White Girl in the corner. Dirty White Boy.
What are you looking at on her? Dave, don't leave me looking at her. Does it look like lust in your eyes? Sure, she looks good.
Looking at the match is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at Bill Dundee as he rolls Dirty White Boy's shoulders down on the mat.
Yeah, look at that. His little head went right in the mat, too, didn't it?
Dirty White Boy comes flying across the ring, doubled up fist, and nailed Billy in the top of the head with it.
There you go. There you go.
That was a forearm. That was a fist.
The only thing that helps Dundee when he falls down on the mat is he don't have very far to fall. See? He's just this little sawed-off runt. Oh, yeah.
Right into an upper arm, held there by the Dirty White Boy as Bill was coming off the ropes.
Look at this drop kick. There you go. Now, that's an athletic move. What does Dundee do athletic? Only thing athletic about Dundee is his feet. Now, he can't do anything in the ring other than throw punches, bite, scratch, claw, kick.
And win matches.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to wrestling, though, he's at a total loss.
It's kind of 1, 2, only a 2 count.
He had him, and you know it.
Well, how come he didn't get a 3 count?
Slow count, Calhoun.
Here's Dundee.
What is he doing? Let's describe those wrestling moves, Dave.
He had both fists doubled up and was punching him. There's a drop kick. There's a wrestling move. Oh, come on, Brian Lee in the ring.
Yeah, Robert.
And Robert Fuller.
What'd I tell you?
That's a disqualification right there on Dirty White Boy. As Brian Lee hits the ring, followed by Robert Fuller. Fuller was loading up that boot.
Yeah, there you go.
Dundee down on the mat. Fuller got that there. Look at it.
See,
got
you
that
know what
boot
this will
loaded
teach
up.
Dundee? This will teach him to stay out of people's personal business. It's one thing to talk about your wrestling and all that stuff, but you don't go talk about people's ladies like Sylvia and that sort of thing. Talk about somebody's personal business, you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Well, Fuller brought the personal business out here. He said he was going to make it public and let everybody know what was going on.
I know you're enjoying this.
Dundee being kicked again by Robert Fuller.
Like a dog.
And primetime Brian Lee, the star
They done
stable.
busted that little head wide open. Look at there.
Yep, they sure have. Here comes Chris Champion, D.D. Steele, Ben Jordan, Don Kelly. And this time the stud stable says, we're out of here. They take the time to leave the area right now after interfering where they didn't belong.
Yeah, he won't be giggling anymore. That's what Robert Fuller just said. That's right.
Well, may not be the only one that's not giggling anymore when Dundee and Dutch Mantel get together.
Why don't we call Dundee over here now and see what he wants to say about Miss Sylvia?
Let's not do that.
You want to come over here and run that mouth down a little bit,
I'll tell you what we're going to do right now. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with you very shortly.
Now you can have the stars of the USWA in your hometown. It's America's #1 fundraiser, USWA Wrestling. The stars, the action, the excitement, USWA Wrestling. For more information on how you can raise money for your organization, write the USWA, Post Office Box 1783, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37077, or call 615-824-8523. USWA Wrestling, America's #1 fundraiser.
All right. Hope you made.
That's a waste of time. How many people do you think watching this can write?
Not even worth a response. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go back to the Sportatorium in Dallas, Texas. We saw Jeff Jarrett a little bit earlier. We're going to see Billy Joe Travis in action right now.
You're not going to upset me. I'm just going to maintain a professional profile as Billy Joe delivers yet another big elbow and comes to the rope for more on the microphone.
That's what Jeff Jarrett would get if he were here right now. Anybody want to challenge me? Anybody want to challenge me? Come on down. I want you, big fat woman.
She's got a weight advantage on Billy.
I'll beat you up too, you big ugly monster. Get a shot of that woman right there. Come on. Anybody, come on down.
Well, Billy Joe's confidence level is certainly at an all-time high.
Billy Joe's confidence level is something else. He's challenging all comers. And, you know, as intensified as he has become, he can take care of himself in any situation. There was always this miscomprehension of Billy Joe being somewhat comedy, cartoon. That is not the case. There is no room for comedy and cartoon. It's just a misconception. Billy Joe's good-natured, but when he gets in that squared circle, he gets the job done.
Billy Joe Travis really making an embarrassing situation out of this bout with Terry Black, as now Black is thrown to the floor.
What a move. Did you see him hit that floor, Mark?
And now the fans really chanting, "We want Jeff."
Yeah, well, I know for a fact that Billy Joe wants Jeff, too. Huh. He's not scared of anybody. He's challenging fans out here, Mark. Uh-oh.
Terry Black's going to be slammed out on the floor.
That can ruin a guy's career, Mark, on that floor.
In a recent bout in which no television was made, someone actually went through the floor. And that just is an illustration of the kind of intensity that goes on. And now Billy Joe's up on the apron.
There, he needs to help him back in. Bronco Lubitsch is counting, you know. Billy don't want to pin like, he don't want a victory with a count out. He wants to pin this guy. Now he's got him back up. What's he going to do, Mark? He's going to embarrass him by holding him up. I like that. I personally like that.
Down over the ribcage goes Terry Black.
What a backbreaker.
Count of two, and Billy Joe could have pinned him and pulled him up for more, and the more noise the fans make, the more punishment Billy Joe is going to dish out.
Of course he is. These people ought to be quiet. They ought to sit in reverence and watch Billy Joe. He is a talent, Mark. What's this?
I don't know. Everyone's jumped up and is screaming, but I don't see anyone.
What is this? Hey, what's Jarrett doing coming down here? He has no business being down here, does he?
Well, the fans were chanting for him, and he's shown up. Jeff is saying, "I'm here. Let's put your money where your mouth is."
What's he doing down? This disgusts me. Billy's out here. He's got a match. Now, Bronco Lubitsch is going to have to give the match to Billy Travis. He's going to have to give it to him. Jeff's interfering. He has no place out here. Boy, I tell you what.
Akbar saying no way. Billy Joe seems to have mixed emotions. Jeff wants Terry Black out of the way.
Get out of here! Get out of here! You idiots! Shut up, you can both, Jeff!
I feel the same way, Mark. Get out of here, Jarrett. You have no business being here.
Billy Joe taking instructions from Akbar as to what to do. And Jeff Jarrett very patiently waiting, saying, "Come on in. I'm tired of the rhetoric. Let's get it on right now."
All right. Billy's going to get him, Mark. Billy's going to... Look at that punch. It's all going to be Billy Travis.
Each man scoring points on the other.
Look at those punches. Jarrett's reeling, but he's getting back up. He's getting up every time, Mark. Oh, no. What a shot he just hit Billy with. Man, Billy hit him with the kitchen sink, and Jarrett was bouncing up like a jack in the box.
Billy Joe checking to see if his teeth are still in place. And I think Jarrett is going to go up the aisle.
There's no place for this.
When it's done, come here, boy. Getting it done. Bill Dundee, you're laying back there in a puddle of blood, Daddy. Stud stable style. We give that boy a good Tennessee dog whooping.
Jumped it.
Just the beginning of it, Daddy.
No, we didn't jump him. We beat him. Like the dog he is.
And in reference to my man Brian's ideas right here, the switchboard's out there lined up with phone calls. We must have 100 women right now wanting to join the stable. And it's going to be a happy day when we pick one. But now, Dutch Mantell, You know, I'm going to say something about you, Dutch, and I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell it like it is. I had you in my stable one time. Your win and loss column started really falling down further. And you remember what happened to you. You're such a coward, you wouldn't show up at TV today. You're such a coward, you don't want to face the man that told you you're through, Dutch Mantell. You get out of my stable, and now you come back. You're still in the loser column, son, and you're going to be standing beside the greatest loser of all. Bill Dundee's got a little friend out here today that's going to be wrestling us. Let's get him out here. I'm going to show Bill how you treat his buddy.
Stud Stable, Robert Fuller and primetime Brian Lee on their way to the ring right now. Here comes Ben Jordan.
Ben Jordan. Now, that's Dundee's close personal friend. Dundee likes to pal around with this guy, so he has somebody to look up to.
Ben Jordan's partner, Bobby Akins, here today. A couple of very young wrestlers, and they're going against the world champion tag team wrestlers in the USWA, Robert Fuller and primetime Brian Lee. Obviously, the Stud Stable are heavy favorites, very heavy favorites going into the match here today, but let's see what happens. We've seen upsets here before.
Well, yeah, we've seen a lot of upset stomachs when you're out here without me, Dave, at home, but you're not going to see an upset in this match, I can assure you. Because you see, I know what's going through Robert Fuller's mind right now. He looks at that punk Ben Jordan, and he thinks of Bill Dundee because they're the same size. They look just alike. Dundee trained this little punk, and Dundee has made Robert Fuller hot. And I'll tell you what's going to happen. You just watch it right here.
Have you been watching what's been going on here? Ben Jordan's looked pretty good in here against primetime Brian Lee.
I can hardly stand to watch that little Ben Jordan. Hardly see him. He had a magnifying glass.
Bobby Akins slowed down, backed into the ropes.
Oh, yeah. Are you watching that?
Yeah, I saw that. Brian Lee drops down with that arm, tags Robert Fuller. Fuller comes in with that boot that he loads up.
I love it. Now, look, what's that kid's name again?
Bobby Akins.
He's got an appropriate name, don't he? He's going to be aching after this match is over, I can assure you.
Well, unfortunately, I think maybe we agree on that. Bobby not having a good day of it so far, and he hasn't been in there very long. But first, Brian Lee, and now Robert Fuller working him over. Fuller over to the corner, makes the tag. Brian Lee picks him up by one leg, drags him to the middle of the ring. Lee.
Finish him off.
Up on the top rope. Look at Robert Fuller distracting the referee as Lee comes off the top rope. There's a cover. 1,
He's aching now.
2, and 3. That's it. I thought he was going to pick him up for a minute, but at least mercifully went ahead and pinned him. For the 3 count, Ben Jordan thrown over the top rope, bounces over off the mat down onto the floor. And now,
that's Dundee's little buddy.
Excuse for this. Fuller and Brian Lee go back to work on Bobby Akins. What do they want? They've already beat him. Here comes Dundee out.
Get out of there, Robert.
Dundee out to help Bobby Akins.
He needs a chair. Look at it.
I'd be ashamed to have to come out here with a chair, Dundee. What a man. What a man.
Got him out of here, Bill.
Yeah, we saw how big and bad you was. You knew Dutch Mantell wasn't here. Well, it took the both of you. Just like I keep telling you, Fuller, you think because you're 6'6" and that other idiot's 6'7" that you can go around and beat up everybody you like. But the difference between me and you is I had to fight all my life, Fuller, because it didn't matter where I went, whether it was guys like Lawler or guys like you that were always picking on the smallest guy at school. And that was me, brother. And I fought all my life, and I fought all the way to the top here. And you're right, Fuller. Monday night, Dutch Mantell and Bill Dundee's taking you out, brother, because I said it before. 5'7", 205 pounds, but I'm the baddest 5'7" you ever saw. If you don't believe me, ask him.
I've been wanting to ask you that. Is that, now come on, people ask me that all the time. Is that your real hair?
It's absolutely real.
That's your real hair? I've seen better hair on coconuts than that, Dave. That's real.
Look, let me talk.
Hey, let me ask you, Dirty White. He said that's his real hair. Do you believe it? Come on.
No, come on, Dave. Tell it. Does that come out of a bottle?
Listen, do you want to talk about the match coming up or not here, huh?
Yeah, I'll talk about the match. You know, we got a match coming up Monday night, Chris Champion. And the only way that you would sign this match, boy, was if I put the stipulations up that if you beat me, that you would get the Dirty White Girl.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I ain't through, baby. What? I ain't through.
Wait a minute. What do you mean he gets the dirty white girl?
He gets the dirty. If he beats me, he gets the dirty white girl.
To, like, take with him, home with him?
Take her right out the building with him.
Hold it, man. Wait a minute. You did not. No. Wait a minute.
I got this.
Let me look. Do you realize what she would be worth after she had been with that disease-infested, flea-ridden?
Not much.
She'd be worth absolutely nothing.
You see, I put a lot of thought into this, King. I put a whole lot of thought in it. Chris Champion, take a real good look, baby. Now, if I beat you, what would you do? You get you a big U-Haul, baby, and you hightail it right out of Memphis, Tennessee, never to be seen again. Because I'm sick and tired of you, champion. Now, I don't care if you kick me in the face. I don't care if you stomp me in the ribs. If you give me a kidney punch, it don't matter to me. But I'll be damned, boy, if I'm going to sit right there and let you walk out of Memphis Coliseum with my old lady. There ain't a chance of that happening, boy. So you get ready. You get everything in your power if you've got enough intestinal fortitude to show up, because you see, champion, I may come walking straight down that aisle. But then, baby, I'm liable to be way up there in the upper deck. Or I'm liable to be, as far as you're concerned, I'm liable to be sitting right next to you in the dressing room, dressing, and you're so stupid you wouldn't know it. But come Monday night, I guarantee you, champion, you're going down, you're going to pack your bags, and all these little sugar britches of yours is going to be out of town. Because, champion, like I said before, son, I'm sick and tired of you. It's time to pay your dues, and you got to pay them to me, baby. I'll see you Monday night in Memphis.
Monday night at the Coliseum. Stipulations are in effect there. If Chris Champion wins, he gets to leave the Coliseum with Dirty White Girl. If Chris Champion loses, he has to leave town. Here's the complete card. Monday night, 8 o'clock, free parking, of course, at the Mid-South Coliseum. Matt Bourne, the Maniac Matt Bourne, will be going against, singing cowboy Don Bass. Singing cowboy is going to be there Monday night against Maniac Matt Bourne.
Matt Bourne is going to get the lesson of his life, not only a singing lesson, but a wrestling lesson.
Well,
everybody is sick of Matt Bourne already. He wore out his welcome real fast around here, and brother Don Bass is going to do a number on this jerk Matt Bourne.
Be there at 8 o'clock and find out Monday night at the Coliseum. Then the USWA World Tag Titles are on the line. Robert Fuller and primetime Brian Lee have the belts around their waist right now. Will they have them after Monday night, though, when Bill Dundee is in there, not by himself, but team?
Did you see me taking no-dos a while ago while Dundee was giving that same old tired spiel about everybody knows, Dundee, that you're a little sawed-off 5'2" runt, and you claim you got a big heart of gold. He's got a heart of gold, all right. It's yellow and it's hard. Let me tell you something, Dundee. A heart don't win matches, punk. People like Robert Fuller and Brian Lee win matches, and they're going to give you a little demonstration of that. If you got any thoughts about ever wearing those belts with a little punk like you and that little runt body, you couldn't wear one anyway, but you can forget it, because they're going to give you the lesson of your life after the way they insulted his Sylvia. Do you understand that?
I understand what you're saying. Also understand that Bill Dundee and Dutch Mantell have won a bunch of matches by themselves and as tag team partners, too. Dirty White Girl is going to be one of the stipulations. Dirty White Girl leaves with Chris Champion if Chris Champion can win this match Monday night.
I still cannot believe this. I mean, she would be worth absolutely zilch.
We heard you say that earlier.
If she were to ever go out anywhere, she'd spend 10 minutes with Chris Champion, and you would have to be dipped in what do they do with dogs, the veterinarians? You know, you take them, you have them dipped and this sort of stuff. That's what you would have to do, is just spending 10 minutes with Chris Champion. You can imagine what would happen if he got to take her home with him.
Well, he will do just that if he wins the match over Dirty White Boy Monday night. On the other hand, if Chris loses...
He's got some diseases that haven't even been identified yet, man, and you're going to take a chance on letting your girl go with her?
If Chris loses the match, he will have to leave town. That's the stipulation.
Well, that'll be the only good thing. Property value in Memphis will rise again.
Bull rope match coming up. Dustin Rhodes goes against Gary Young. These two have been going at each other for weeks. You put him on either end of the bull rope, and we'll see what happens. Rhodes against Gary Young.
Rhodes ought to be on a bull. He's so full of bull, cows follow him around. He thinks he's a wrestler. His old man's so fat he looks like a bull, and then Dustin's following right in his shoes. Have you seen that boy? Have you seen him lately?
I have seen him.
He lays down and he rolls to the ring. He makes better time that way. Gary Young will beat him like the basketball-looking idiot that he is.
Well, we'll find out at the Coliseum. Then, King Cobra will be going against the Soul Taker, and you are going to be in Soul Taker's corner.
That's right.
That looks like a very uneven situation there to me right there.
I'm just there to watch because Cobra After he lost to me, like I told everybody he went to Eddie Marlin. He got down on his hands and knees in front of his desk and said, please, Mr. Marlin, please give me another shot at Lawler. Please give me another shot at that belt. And Eddie Marlin said, let me tell you something. You're just not a worthy contender anymore. You're going to have to work your way up through the ranks. And so that's what we're letting him do. We're letting him see if he can beat some top contenders like the Soul Taker. And if he can, then I might consider giving him a title shot.
Yeah,
until then, he's not a worthy contender.
Well, we'll see. I would feel a lot better about it if it were Soul Taker without you in his corner. But
I'm there merely to watch.
All right, remains to be seen. Guitar on a pole, the main event match of the night. Jeff Jarrett with Bill Dundee in his
what about
corner.
that now?
Yeah, well...
I guess you feel a lot better about that, huh? If Dundee wasn't in Jeff's corner. Now, see, this is what I don't like about you, Dave.
Wait a minute.
Well, I started to say you're two-faced, but if you were, you wouldn't be wearing that one. But why don't you call a spade a spade? Why don't you tell it like it is when it's there, when his tables are turned? Now, Jeff Jarrett has to have Bill Dundee in his corner, and you think that's fine, huh?
Yeah, but we saw what happened when he went against Billy Joe Travis last time, and Billy's just going to be there to make sure that doesn't happen again.
No,
Here's Cobra right here.
You ain't got my number because I don't give my number out to people like you, Cobra.
Hey, Soul Taker, I got him Monday night.
You're right.
And hey, we know there's a lot of thought going in behind that. It's just because this coward right here of that 30-day contract that he
hey,
30 days give me another shot at the title. Well, if I have to walk through the Soul Taker and anybody else to get back what I feel like I have a part of, I'm going to do that. And, Joe, let me tell you one thing. You can hide for that 30 days, but, brother, when the 29th day comes, you just look out your door and watch. I'm going to be standing right there waiting on you.
Is that right?
Hey, I said it. I'm standing right here. I said it when you're sitting there. I'm saying, hey, and I'm surprised you've made up enough nerve, got enough nerve to walk up and around and come over here.
Oh, I got plenty of nerve when it comes to you, Cobra.
Yeah, as long as you got
can
that
stand there. You might say you can tell me something. Well, you can't tell me nothing. You might ask me something, but you can't tell me nothing.
All these people out here know that you're a coward, Lawler.
Oh, is that right?
If you wasn't a coward, But no, you're going to use a guy like Soul Taker and stick him out there. Hey, what's wrong? You can't fight your own battle? You want to put him against your opponents to kind of soften them up for you? Hey, are you scared? Hey, just go ahead and admit you're scared.
Let me tell you what it is. You are not a title contender. Do you understand it? You are not a title contender.
I am the former world champion. That make me a contender right there. I want it. You know I want it. And hey, you're the man that I want it from.
Cobra.
So you know better than anybody. I am championship material.
Read my lips. You are not a title contender. Okay, read my lips on it. You are not a title contender.
Okay, I read your lips, but let me tell you something. Look, you read my lips.
Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Okay, I'll read your lips. That bottom one says inflate to 20 pounds. What about that?
I'm going to get the shot at you, brother, and I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of the stuff you're putting out. Look, if I'm going to wait, I'm walking through the Soul Taker, I'm going to get a shot at him. If it's the last thing I do, I'm going to get a shot at you, brother, and I'm tired of fooling today. Thank you.
All right, Cobra. Don't...
Shot of that, Cobra! Huh?
Cobra,
you want a shot? You just got your shot, punk!
Come out here and insult him and then throw a chair at him. Can we...
Get somebody out here! Get a garbage man out here and drag this trash out of here!
You stay back and let's see if we can get somebody to help him out.
Yeah!
Here comes Eddie Dundee, Chris Champion. We'll take a break. You stay back away from it.
You come down and interrupted my match, and you want a guitar on the pole. Well, let me tell you something, boy. You're in bad trouble. You know that's my specialty. Ask Bill Dundee. Ask Eric Embry. Ask them all who's the king of the guitar. Jeff Jarrett, you are in trouble, boy, because I'm going to go up that pole like a rabbit. Boo! And I'm going to get that guitar, and I'm going to smash it over your head, boy, because you know how it feels, and I'm going to hurt you. I guarantee you in it. I guarantee I'm going to bust that head with that guitar. I'm going to make him bleed all over this place. Then I'm going to lick it up and beat him again. I'm going to break it till the splinters left. Get it, boy.
Well, Mark, I can't stand here and be repetitive of what Billy Joe has just said. You can feel the intense that Billy Joe has. And you know, Jeff Jarrett, I've been around a while, and devastation, this is the most grueling situation that I've encountered, because Billy Joe wants you in the worst way. And when it comes down to guitars, well, Billy Joe is certainly the king. And he proved, and you know what I'm talking about, Jeff. You were in the match of your life just recently.
I'm going to hurt him.
And Billy, I know Billy Joe, and you can see just how intensified that Billy Joe Travis is. So, Jeff Jarrett, your days are numbered. Tell him to get his scrapbooks out there.
Yeah. You're going to be retired, boy, because I'm going to put you out of action.
Well, Billy Joe Travis and Skandar Akbar talking about the upcoming match here. Stepping up into the ring right now, the Shadow, Chris Champion, should be coming toward the ring area right about now. There's referee Jerry Calhoun. And we are just about set to go with live USWA, CWA wrestling action. Here he comes. Oh, he's got that snake with him. Chris Champion. Up into the ring right now. 1 fall, 10-minute time limit match coming up. The Shadow. Whoa. Says hello to the snake. Champion. Got ready to put the snake in that sack that he carries him around in. Once that mission is accomplished and he gets his jacket off, we will be set to go with this match. Jerry Calhoun refereeing. 1 fall, 10 minutes the time limit. Chris Champion from the Wild side, of course. And returning to the area, just to warn you, Lawler decked out in his wrestling attire now. Bell sounds, we're underway. Chris Champion against the Shadow. Champion has to be considered a favorite here. Don't know a lot about the Shadow, but we know quite a bit about Chris Champion, and that is that he is very capable of winning matches. Shadow runs into a knee.
Hey, Champion! Hey, Champion! Why don't you do that spear move again? Why don't you do the spear on him, Dave?
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about, the spear. I saw him do it a couple of weeks ago where he slammed his opponent in the middle of the ring, got out here like an idiot on the ropes, and dived over and speared his head into the man about 2 feet short of his opponent. You know what I'm talking about?
I think Chris Champion can take care of business here without your advice, probably. Champion backs the Shadow under the rope.
See, the reason Chris Champion has an advantage over these guys is because you don't know what kind of disease you're catching when you're in there wrestling this jerk. That's the only thing you can worry about. You don't worry about him hitting you, punching you, kicking you. You worry about what kind of infectious disease you're coming in contact with.
The word?
You have to go straight from these matches, not to the showers, but right down the street here on Union to this minor emergency clinic. Have yourself checked out.
The super kick.
Look at that hair. You can tell their spider got nests in there.
3, that's it. Chris Champion gets himself a victory, and he did it not by his opponent trying to avoid him, but he did it with a super kick. Picks the Shadow up, and he's steamed. He throws him out of the ring. Chris Champion with the win, hand raised in 1 minute, 25 seconds of action. We will take a break and be back with you in just a moment.
Time with Dave Brown here. Here's the camera. I want to bring this. I want to try to introduce the people at home to some of these goofballs and illiterates and idiot freeloaders that come down here to this studio and take advantage. Take a look at this. Take a look at this menagerie here. Look at this. Can you get a close-up on this guy right here? Can you get a no? Don't ever put your hand. Don't ever put your hands on me. Get a real tight shot on this face. Look at that. Look at that face. Look, I bet when you were in school, history was current events, wasn't it? Huh? Yeah, I know it was. That's the first time I ever saw a prune with legs. Look at this. Come around here. Come around here. Look at some of these people here. Hey, can you see this guy right here? Come here, lean around here where they can get a shot of your face. See this guy? Look at this guy right here. Can you see him right here? Now, this guy has been running his mouth the entire show. He's over here. He spends half his time trying to be witty out here in the audience. What that means is he's a half-wit. Now, let me tell you something. If you want to get your own show, then you can run your mouth all you want to. But before you do, you're a little bit overweight. I'll tell you how you can lose about 10 pounds. Brush your teeth, you filthy-looking slob. Now, let me tell you something else. Look at these two girls right here that remind me of a couple movie stars. Lassie and Rin Tin Tin. No. Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I'll bet you're beautiful. No, don't touch listen, me. Look at her. Look. You know, I'll bet you're probably a beautiful person on the inside. Well, too bad it's the outside that shows. Woo! Oh, baby. Look at this. Look at all of this, would you? Go ahead now, Dave.
Are you through?
Huh?
Are you through?
I want to tell you something, Dave. If you want me to read that for you, I'll be glad to. All I heard about last week's show is how you bored everybody to tears, you put everybody to sleep, and you know your future on the show is really in jeopardy if you keep that up. Really, matter of fact, the only hope I see for you, Dave, is maybe if somebody in your family were to die and leave you some talent, then you might be able to continue on the show here. But without me, you are lost out here. Do you realize that?
Without you, we had a wonderful show last week. I'm sorry in a way that you missed it, but of course in another way I'm glad you missed it.
Well, let me just tell you this. The only important thing we're talking about, if you're talking about wonderful shows, by the way, let's just mention the fact that my show will be on tomorrow a half hour early at 10:30 in the morning, big Super Bowl show where I hobnob with some Super Bowl football players.
Take this one over at Pepper's.
At Pepper Rogers' place, that's right, and it's you talk about wonderful shows, tune in 10:30 tomorrow morning, then you'll see a wonderful show. Let's just talk for a second.
In spite of the fact you're on it, you've got Paul Hofer as a former running back with the 49ers, and a pretty decent show. I think, yeah.
What do you mean a pretty decent show? It's the highest rated show in this entire market. Everybody every week tunes in to see the King, and it's the best show on Channel 5. It's as simple as that. Now let's talk a minute about Cobra coming out here and putting his hands on me like that. Let me tell you something, Cobra. You made a mistake of your life, and I guess you realized it about 15 seconds after you slapped my face because you were laying flat on your back with this steel chair legs sticking out of the back of your head. Now, they tell me back there, it looks like you're going to have about 12 stitches. Well, when the Soul Taker gets through with you Monday night at the Coliseum, you're going to need double that many stitches because I'm going to go straight to him, and I'm going to tell him what you did to me, and that's going to make him pretty hot, brother. And when he gets through with you, if there's anything left, and if you've got any guts, and you're calling me a coward, I'm going to tell you right now, Cobra, Monday night, when he's through with you, if you're not a coward, you step foot in that ring again, and I'll get in there with you, and we'll see who the coward is, Cobra.
Monday night, it's going to be the Cobra against the Soul Taker with Jerry Lawler in the corner. I want to talk right now, not about Monday night at this particular moment, but about some action that's coming up tonight. Tonight in Bradford, Tennessee at the high school. I
want to talk a little bit about this, too.
It's a big day in Bradford, Tennessee because
Who ever heard of Bradford, Tennessee, first of all?
I did it, for one, as a matter of fact.
When?
I grew up not far from there. 8 o'clock is wrestling time. Here's a man whose hometown is Bradford, Tennessee, Rooster Cogburn. Rooster with a victory here earlier today. Rooster, it's Rooster Cogburn Day there.
Yes, sir. Let me take just a minute of your time there, David. A lot of people don't know who I am, but I'm Rooster Cogburn.
And a lot of people don't care,
Rooster. Won't you just keep out of this, lawyer, and keep back, and I'm going to do the talking. Like, I'm Rooster Cogburn. I'm from Bradford, Tennessee, and it's a very good town. I'm from there, and I love it to death. And tonight I've got a world title match with Jerry Lawler.
Ain't that a joke?
And I've always wanted a world title shot ever since I've been a little bitty kid, and I finally got it tonight in Bradford, Tennessee. So, Lawler, all I can tell you is be there, and me and you'll face each other.
Get some grease on Dave's hand there.
I had a freshly manicured this morning, Lawler.
Why don't you tell the truth?
Well, let me tell you, Lawler, you good running that mouth, but that's all you good for.
Let's talk about
But right here's a mouth. Right here I drawed just so you couldn't get lost.
You drawed that for me?
And I wrote it too,
Well, I
Lawler.
appreciate it,
I've got an education, brother.
Is that right?
How to get to Bradford,
monkey.
That's right.
Let's tell the truth about this. Rooster Cogburn lives in Bradford, Tennessee. The only time you know you're near Bradford, Tennessee, look around, you see toilet paper hanging out on the line to dry. Then you're in Bradford, Tennessee. And he is a grease monkey. He runs a service station down there. And he called and had the mayor call, and the whole Chamber of Commerce called Eddie Marlin. They begged and pleaded and said, we got a favorite son, Rooster Cogburn. If he could ever get a title shot, we could have everybody in Bradford turn out to see him, like the movie Rocky, right? Well, Eddie Marlin felt sorry for these poor degenerates up there in Bradford, so he signs a match. Now, I got to try to, give me that map. I got to try to find my way to this little podunk, hillbilly, hick, backwoods town tonight and go in there and put my prestigious title on the line against a grease monkey who ought to be changing the oil in my car. Now, is that a joke or not?
Well, you can call it a joke if you want to. I remember you also took King Cobra kind of lightly, too, and he wound up wearing that belt around his waist.
Well, let me just tell you, You see what the most recent incident that happened. King Cobra wound up flat on his back. They say he's going to need stitches in the back of that head. And Rooster Cogburn, you better take a good look at what just happened to Cobra, because you don't want me to humiliate you and embarrass you in front of both your fans up there in Bradford, Tennessee, your own hometown, because then those two people won't even come back to that service station of yours, and you'll be completely out of business.
Bradford, Tennessee tonight. It's at the high school. Get your tickets in advance. Save $1. Lawler will be there with the belt. Dutch Mantell also on the card. Chris Champion, Maniac Matt Bourne, and more. That's tonight in Bradford, Tennessee. Tomorrow night, Jonesboro, Arkansas. That's right, tomorrow night in Jonesboro. 8 o'clock will be wrestling time. Box office opens tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. Regular prices you see right here. Some of the folks that are going to be there, the Superstar, Bill Dundee, Dustin Rhodes, the Soul Taker. Billy Joe Travis is going to be there, too. That's all in Jonesboro tomorrow night. Then on Friday, February 23rd, Martin, Tennessee. This will be at UT Martin, the Snake. He's leaving. He's not too fond of the Snake. None of us are, Chris.
Well, me and Elvis were in a good mood, Dave. We got us a match with Dirty White Boy, yeah? There's a stipulation where if I lose, I'll pack my bags and I'll leave town. But I'm not really worried about that. That's the furthest thing from my mind is leaving town. I'm going to take the Dirty White Girl. Once I'm finished winning that match, I'm going to show her how a lady really should be treated. I'm going to show her the finer things of life. I'm going to show her what it's like to walk on the wild side with a real man. And when I'm done showing her, she's going to be kicking sand in the Dirty White Boy's face, mailing him Dear John letters, and that'll be it, brother.
Chris Champion. Stipulations once again. If Chris wins the match, he gets to leave the Coliseum with the Dirty White Girl. If he loses, he has to leave town.
Has Rodney Dangerfield called me yet?
Rodney Dangerfield hasn't called, and I don't expect him to call.
Hey, well, now, wait a minute. Now, wait just a second. Before you go to commercial, now, I hear you saying you don't expect him to call. You know why, Dave? You're such a skeptic. You don't believe that I know these famous people, right? You don't believe that I was talking last week or the week before last to Art Modell, the owner of the Cleveland Browns, do you?
No, I don't.
And you don't believe I was talking to Christy Brinkley, do you?
No, I don't.
See? He's such a skeptic. I brought along a little proof. Show this picture. Show this picture I brought you back there. Who is that? Tell me, who is it?
Obviously, Rodney Dangerfield.
And who's standing next to him? Who's he giving one of these to? Come on, tell the truth. Right. Okay, that's right. Now I got another little picture. Now show this other little picture. Come on, where's it at? Now who's that, Dave? Who is that?
All right, Art Modell.
That's Art Modell, the owner of the Cleveland Browns, a multimillionaire, and that's the King standing beside him. And you try to tell these people that I don't know these famous people, brother. And I'm going to prove to you, I'm going to show you videotape footage next week of me and Christy Brinkley. Next week, right here on this show, I'll prove to you that I know all these people, and they call me all the time because they want to talk to important people.
How come Rodney hasn't called yet?
He's going to call. There's a time difference between Memphis and New York.
I'll tell you what, while you're waiting for the call, we've got you scheduled in a match right here. T.D. Steele, your opponent, is waiting for you in the ring right now.
That's great.
Non-title match.
When I look at him, I think a King Cobra. Excuse me, I think a Cobra.
T.D. Steele in the ring. One fall. Well, I beg your pardon. This will be an expiration of time match. Yeah, we'll just go one fall or 3 or 4, depending on the amount of time. Lawler calling T.D. Steele Cobra. Grabs Steele, backs him into the turnbuckles, using that right hand and flips him out of the ring. Oh, hey! Was that kind of like that spear you were talking about earlier, King? Because he used that right fist and T.D. Steele was gone. T.D. Steele has just run Lawler out of the ring. The World Unified Champion finds himself out of the ring on the floor, complaining to the referee that he got hit with a fist. Lawler back up on the apron, through the ropes, into the ring. T.D. Steele not backing up an inch from him. Lawler picks him up, slams him. Oh, once again, Lawler's going to drop on him, but T.D. Steele out of the way made Lawler look bad. Lawler up on his feet, drives T.D. Steele back into the turnbuckles. Referee right there saying, come on, back away, King. Oh, great. He does back away, but then he nails him with a right fist. T.D. Steele smacks him back. Steele, boy, he's always been a fiery wrestler. Comes in here with all kinds of confidence. Oh, my goodness. I'm not sure that's a good move, TD. TD brings that strap down. The patented Lawler move. When the strap comes down, the match is generally over. TD feeling pretty good about the way he's been going so far. He backs Lawler to the turnbuckle, smacks him with a left hand, and then another one. And Lawler holding that jaw. He's been popped by TD Steele here. 2 minutes gone. Look out. King Cobra jumps into the ring. That's going to be a DQ on TD Steele. But King Cobra, who was victimized earlier today by Lawler out here insulting him. When Cobra slapped him, then he was walking away. Lawler picked up a big metal chair, a big chair with rollers on it, and threw it, nailing King Cobra in the back and cut the back of his head open. They're down here on the floor. King Cobra. Oh, Cobra picks up the chair, and Lawler takes the opportunity to get out of here. King Cobra getting the best of that one right there. I do see it.
Jerry, I want you to take a good look at this, brother. When I get these stitches, hey, I'm going to kill you. I want him to know that.
Get that cut taken care of, Cobra. Cobra coming out with the better of it right there against Lawler as he runs him out of here. It's going to be a DQ. Lawler does get the victory in the first fall. We're going to check the time. We'll be back here in a minute. Coming this way, here's a look at the Southern Rockers.
Woo! That's right, baby. In case you don't know who we are, we're the Southern Rockers. We've been all around the world taking care of business with the toughest tag team competition, and we heard that the USWA's got the toughest, so we're on our way, baby. Get ready.
Hey, but that ain't all, baby, because I'll tell you what, one thing we heard about the USWA, everywhere we go, is how great the fans are. We're looking forward to all those great fans coming out and supporting us everywhere we go, and there's one more thing. Is all the pretty women. You know, everybody knows the South's got the prettiest women in the world, and there's only one thing we like to do better than we like to wrestle. You know what that is, Rex? Party. So we're coming to USWA Party Tour 1990.
Rock and roll's on its way.
Be looking for them. The Southern Rockers coming to the USWA very, very soon. Matt Bourne will be going against the singing cowboy Don Bass in opening match action Monday night at the Mid-South Coliseum.
Oh, I'm saying, where's Cobra? Why ain't he out here right now? He wants some of me. Come on, Cobra. Hey. I'm here. Where's he?
I think he took care of you.
I think he took off.
That he go get stitches where you threw that chair and cut his head open. Right back there.
That's exactly right, and that's exactly what the front of his face is going to look like after Monday night. And, Dave, if you don't stop pushing it, you could use a few stitches yourself. You understand that? I'm about sick of you.
All right, we're about sick of all this stuff we're having to put up with out here is what we're about sick of. You got a victory in the match because Cobra jumped in there and interfered.
I'll just go ahead and call Rodney myself, okay?
You might as well. I don't think he's going to call you. That victory in that first fall, because when Cobra came in, that was a disqualification. So to clarify that, that goes in the record books as a victory for Lawler over TD Steele by disqualification. Earlier today, Chris Champion won his match. Stud Stable were victorious. They were out here. They started things, of course, with that sad song, looking for a replacement for Sylvia.
Rodney Dangerfield in?
Calling for Rodney. Is Rodney in?
Yeah, this is Jerry Lawler down in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, I believe that when I hear Rodney's voice on the phone. Cobra got a victory in a match earlier today.
Rodney!
It was
Rodney, it's the King. That's right, brother. What's happening?
It was Bill Dundee getting a victory in his match, too.
Rodney, to come down here and put one of his chumps in his place. A couple of them, as a matter of fact.
We'll see you next week.
Just a couple of lines to use on these guys. Okay?
Till then, I'm Dave Brown. So long, everybody.
Oh, yeah!
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of USW.